finally get down to buffing, make sure that you familiarize yourself with your specific buffer, and always buy a buffer that's a variable speed, because when you are first starting out with the wool pad, you want to make sure that you're going slow so that you get comfortable with how the buffer's cutting, how it's acting. And then also, when you watch me buff, notice how whenever I come to an edge of the panel, I know that the buffer, as I'm looking at it, is turning clockwise. And so you'll see me tilt the buffer so that the pad is always going off of the edge instead of onto the edge. So you'll never see me buffing an edge like this. You'll always see me buffing an edge so that the pad is going off. This prevents the pad from catching on the corner and burning through. And I'm telling you, that will happen so fast that you won't even see it coming. So really pay attention to how the pad is rotating and how it's going off of the panel. So after using the quick cut wet sander with the 3200, you can see that the panel is actually got some shine to it. You can see some reflections. And so now I'm just going to start the buffing process. And what I'm going to use for buffer is initially just a regular wool bonnet, an 1.5 inch cut, and some Meguiar's Solo compound. I like the Solo compound because you use the same compound all the way throughout your buffing stages. All you do is change the pads. So you guys can watch me buff this thing out, and you'll see how quickly with the 3200 from the quick cut it gets to a pretty awesome shine. In just a short period of time with buffing with the wool compound, you really start to get a pretty phenomenal shine out of it. And the quick cut has made the panel really flat. This is not a substitute for good quality bodywork, of course, because you're not going to be able to take dents out. But what it does allow you to do is it allows you to move very quickly and see really, really good progress. Now, because the sandpaper is so fine, you can, a lot of times, if you see additional flaws, just take the 3-inch and go ahead and just do a little spot repair right on the panel, and then just buff that one little section and it'll come out to a pretty awesome gloss. So. So I'm finished polishing, and I've cleaned all of the buffing compound off with the final inspection and a microfiber towel. And the finish on here is fantastic. I'm going to talk a little bit about waxes. Being that this just came out of the booth about a week ago, do not put any wax, no carnauba wax, no paste wax. Don't put any coating on this surface at all. The surface needs to breathe, it needs to be able to outgas. And if you put a sealer coat of wax on here, then it can cause dieback and can cause some problems. You don't want to put your car cover on it. You want to just let this be able to outgas and to cure out. With that said, there are some breathable wax products. This is called Fast Wax. And you can put that on here and it will make this surface very shiny, very smooth. Anybody that's done this type of work before knows how long it takes to wet sand and polish this trunk lid by hand. I mean, you'll spend hours and hours. And I cannot reiterate enough how much of a time saver, when used correctly, the Quick Cut system is. And you can see by just the surface finish, I mean, this is really a show car quality. And I was able to do it in about half the time that it would normally take me to do this by hand. So any system that you get awesome results like we've gotten here and saves you a lot of time is a great product. Give the guys over at Quick Cut a call. They'll be happy to answer any questions, get you set up with the type of cutting system that's going to work best for your shop or your garage or whatever project you're working on. And if you have any other questions about any of the products, the process that you've seen today in this little video series, then contact me at info@jonesies.com. You can find us on YouTube at Jonesies Auto Club. And let us know what you're working on, and we'll try to do our best to help you out.